Hello, I'm Michael Cups with the Habit Architects podcast. Great to see everybody again this week, and I'm really looking forward to talking to Emily, our guest. But before I do that, just want a reminder, we've got our Gen AI Habit Coach that you can go check out. It's called Habit B. You can find it on timebound.io. It will help you devise a habit plan. It'll help you with your priorities for the day. It's a Gen AI advice giver and your personal coach. So go check that out, Habit B on timebandit.io. Emily, welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Great. Well, Emily Ackerman, if you don't follow her on LinkedIn, she's a great follow. So do find her on LinkedIn and follow because she's got some great content about work, about her role as a business development leader, and now as a mom and blending all that together. And we're going to talk about that. But let's start with an introduction. Emily, tell everybody about you.
All right, my name's Emily Ackerman. I am from the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and my full-time job, I lead business development for a CPA firm called Bennett Thrasher. We are a large CPA firm that recently, in the last few years, opened an office in Dallas, but have been around in Atlanta and now also recently in Denver, Colorado. We've got just about 600 people in just Atlanta proper. And so just in the last few years, they've really expanded into Denver and Dallas. They've never truly had a business development person, which is wild. And that is what I do. The firm is full service, except for we do not have a wealth management firm and we do not have an investment bank. We'd rather work with our friends in the industry and actually put our clients with the people that we think will get the job done the best. But name an industry that's not cryptocurrency, and we can probably work with you to some degree. And my job is to just connect people that need to meet, make other strangers and people wildly rich and successful. I do not do the accounting; that would be bad. But I
Yeah,
know enough to be dangerous.
I'm with you
And
on that.
when, yeah, and when I'm not working, love spending time with friends and family. I'm a fitness junkie. I love to work out, even though I don't look like I do now. I just had a baby. I love music. I love eating. I love travel. And yeah,
Those
that's
are
a
all
little
good
about me.
things. Those are all good things. That shows you're living too. So yeah, this is exciting. So great information on the company. You said something there that maybe we'll start with a little bit of business and then mix in the life development that you've had,
Sure.
and then the blend of those. So you said that they're growing in Dallas. So you were brought on and you're hired to build a business for them in Dallas, I'm guessing,
Yeah.
or add clients. And so, when you think about your path to do that, do you have a system? Do you have a networking strategy? Do you have a business development plan that you execute? And how do you focus on certain things? Because it could be overwhelming, right? You're just like grow.
Sure. Sure. So it's not just Dallas, it's not even just Texas, it's the Southwest region. So anything truly south and west of Atlanta, which is a huge territory. But I joke with people that there's so much business, the DFW Metroplex. It's a joke, but I don't even need to go north of 635.
Right.
I live in the M streets in East Dallas. There is plenty of business within a 5 mile radius of just where I live.
Yeah.
And Dallas and just the state of Texas, we're so lucky to be here from a business standpoint.
Yeah.
There's obviously every industry known to man that is here, but people are moving here constantly.
Yeah.
Corporations are moving here constantly. I almost think it's overwhelming how much we have just in our own town.
Yeah.
Texas is also one of those really weird markets where people want to see you, shake your hand. They want to see you out and about. I'm not one that I don't have kids until now, but they want to see your kids and play
Yeah.
groups and sports.
Yeah.
It's a different market than, say, California,
Yeah.
where they're a little bit more comfortable with remote.
Yeah.
They're a little bit more comfortable with just doing business virtually. Texas is weird
Yeah.
by just wanting to have that human interaction and connection. So it's hard to be in all these places at one time from a strategy standpoint without giving away the
Yeah.
secret sauce. I think it's so easy to just, if you have this huge territory like I do, go to conferences. That way you get as much face time with people from out of town as possible.
Yeah.
I'm on maternity leave, or I would be at a big M&A conference right now, which is in Houston, but people are flying in from all over the country, be it Chicago, be it Tampa, be it New Orleans. It's a great way to just see people in person and then follow up virtually.
Yeah.
But Texas and just Dallas in general, again, we have every industry in this
Yep.
market.
Yep.
Our firm certainly has a bunch of industries that we specialize in, whether it's healthcare, whether it's manufacturing, whether it's film and entertainment, you name it. I
Yeah.
certainly have my industries that I like
Yeah.
more than
Yeah.
others. And I find it when you are a little bit more narrow and focused, it's easier for people to think of you. It's
Yeah.
easier to spend your time going to different associations and meet with people in your own market that like the same thing as you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Exactly. Yep.
I I call it I dress girly, but I'm kind of a tomboy. I love what you would call the blue collar trades. I love construction.
Yeah.
I enjoy the process of watching things getting built around town. If I could have any job that money, time, degree, and all that did not matter besides being a chef or a rock star, I love interior design.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
I enjoy that aspect of the business. I like the people. I like their personalities. They're way more down to earth and not as egotistical as a lot of other people in certain industries. Like
Yeah.
they're smart. They know what they
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
They know everything about what they do, but they're willing to be like, I'm not good at accounting. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
there I focus a lot more of my time and energy on that industry versus casting a wide net.
Yeah.
When I meet with people, instead of saying, "Oh, we're a generalist," like a lot of people do, I
Yeah.
say, "I kind of my firm is a generalist accounting firm, but I specialize and spend most of my time with construction, manufacturing. I love restaurants and that kind of
Yeah.
hospitality space, and
So,
I
so
also enjoy healthcare."
yeah, so yeah, that's where I primarily am with my business. The interesting thing you said there, though, two things, and a lot of people in their business, whatever their business is, whatever they're selling, they feel like they have to try to sell it to everybody, right? And you
Hmm.
said two things. You first said you've got a big territory, but you know where you live, and you know the people that you can sell to. You don't have to drive north of 635, and for anybody that's not from Dallas, just know that there's a circle around Dallas. There's downtown Dallas, and then there's all this stuff, and then there's a loop. And what she's saying is she's got enough business in there that she doesn't feel like she has to drive to Oklahoma City to look for business. Now, I'm sure you'd go there if you need to, but the
Yes.
point being is you've got to focus, and then you focused again on certain industries because you know exactly what they need and you can help them.
Yeah.
So that focus, a lot of people just try to spend a lot of time trying to do it all, and they don't realize the power in that kind of focus, right?
Totally. It's easier for people to think of you too.
Yeah,
Like I would love people to just send me all of their business. That would be great. But if they know that we have a whole focus group on these particular industries, they've met those industry experts, they see me at every event pertaining that industry, you start to just get top of mind.
yeah,
I can't be all things for all people. Granted, my firm has all these services, whether you need audits, whether you need CFO services, whether you need a quality of earnings, helping with planning your estate planning and trust work for you. It doesn't, I can say yes to all of these services, but there's hundreds of other
yeah,
accounting firms in this city and
yeah,
thousands in this country. So I would rather just be the one that they think of for a particular industry. It just keeps it easier.
yeah,
And it's a not that it's a popularity contest, but it kind of is. You have to be the one that they think of for when these things happen because people don't feel like switching CPA firms. That just doesn't happen.
yeah,
It
yeah,
takes
right,
a few reasons, like they literally, your accountant really literally dies,
yeah,
moves away, retires, screws up, or they just don't do something that you need.
yeah, yeah.
That that's those are the main reasons, but you just have to be that person who's top of mind whenever these opportunities happen.
Yeah. Well, and I noticed you use, like I said earlier on the show started, that you're a great follow on LinkedIn. Uh, you're fun in your post, but you also share information that's useful. And LinkedIn is an interesting thing, right? We can use it to network with people that we could have very rarely seen in the past, just if you
Sure.
happen to be at a trade show or what have you. But what are your habits around that? Because you're not out there saying, "Hey, here's a commercial for." your firm, you're out there sharing information. And what's your thinking behind your strategy there? And I think it's brilliant, and it may just be that you want people to enjoy your content. What do you think?
You have to put a little bit of information out there that's relevant to what you do in the firm. Um, I tend to just have a rule of thumb where I post things that I would enjoy reading myself. I
Yeah,
think that there's not a lot of people that do really what I do in my profession and the financial services in general. A lot of people, when they say that they're business development or even chief growth officer, they are glorified marketing admin. They're not doing what I do. Prior to even Bennett Thrasher, I interviewed at a firm, I won't say which one, for my job title. And when they told me they don't want me out of the office, they want me working on proposals all day. It's like, well, that's the last thing you want me doing. I mean,
yeah,
I already am the one that you don't want me behind a computer. I
yeah,
can, but that's not what I do.
yeah.
So I, with LinkedIn, utilize it as a way to make people that I'm not in front of feel like they still see me and that I'm still relevant. I use LinkedIn to also just get things off my chest or off my out of my head. Not like a
Yeah,
diary, but just
yeah, yeah,
little bit of, I'd rather you know a little bit about me before you even know me,
yeah,
like
yeah,
literally in person, and also tie it to what I do
yeah.
for Bennett Thrasher, whether it's also a board I'm on. I also every now and then will meet people in this market where I look at what I do as I go on first dates all day, and sometimes these people are just total duds where we don't vibe, as the
Yeah,
kids say. But I also meet some people all the time where I'm blown away, where it's like, wow, where have you been all my life? We
yeah, yeah,
are kindred spirits. Like,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
like
That's
he was just on this before. Your guy, like that would have been what I call like a wonderful first date. It's like,
yeah,
okay,
yeah, yeah.
we're hitting it off. Like, but people need to know about these people. I don't want them to be these best kept secrets in Dallas. So I market my friends. I market different events that I'm a part of and associations,
Your network.
boards. Yeah,
You're
yeah. So
networking. You help people where you can. You talk your speak your mind. Well, but
yes,
I love that. And I think the LinkedIn platform in general is getting. There's so many coaches out there saying use this formula to grow followers on LinkedIn, and they all look the same. They all have the same post, just with different milestones or whatever. And that's why I
you
really
mean
like yours, because it's refreshing and it's real, it's authentic, and you just described you're just networking with people. That's what you're doing.
yes, and
So
it's not thirst traps, and
yeah,
it's so not obviously Chat GPT.
yeah.
Like, definitely use Chat GPT to your advantage. I use it because I tend to write essays, and I'll just throw what I wrote and be like, trim this, please. But
Exactly.
but no, it's LinkedIn is not for posting sexy photos,
Yeah,
and it's a place to be vulnerable but in good taste. I definitely post about my religion, but I'm not shoving it in people's faces.
yeah,
I only bring up politics when it pertains to my industry,
yeah,
because I mean,
yeah.
election
But
changes
yeah,
impact what you're doing from an accounting standpoint, from an
exactly.
estate planning standpoint, an M&A standpoint, but I'm not saying vote for this person.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah, exactly, exactly. That's great. And so now a big life event has occurred,
I
a
had a
wonderful
pivot.
life event. So now you're a mom.
Ah,
And how did that change of course we kind of know what happened, but with you've been on maternity leave, or you're coming off of maternity leave soon, I think.
Maternity leave is ending on March 19th.
Oh,
I had my baby Christmas Day.
wow.
Um,
Nice.
yeah, yeah, like a good Jewish baby. Her name is Gabriella Simone. Call her Gigi. If you ask my friends, like, what would you expect Emily to be like as a mom? I would hope they would say good, but I'm not a kid person. I don't like other people's kids. I find that to be annoying, and I think I joked with you before. this started when I meet with are like, I can't even picture my life before my baby. I literally have said to them, I can. I loved life before Gigi.
Yeah.
Life was great. If I wanted to take a nap at 2 o'clock, I could. If I wanted to go have an entire crazy day at
Yep.
a concert festival, I didn't have to worry about a babysitter. If I wanted to just spontaneously say, hey Sarah, you want to go grab dinner tonight at 6 o'clock? I didn't have to wait for a nanny or
Yeah.
childcare. I have to keep another human alive.
Yeah.
And it's it's so funny. I think I got very lucky with the baby I have. She's so easy.
Yeah.
I know everyone says that they have the best baby. I have the best baby.
Yeah. 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 You got them.
She's no, she when people were like, how's maternity leave going? It's like she's easy. I'm the problem. I'm way too extroverted to be cooped up like this. And so no one tells you that you really don't have much of a life. You can't do much with your kiddo until they have their 2 month shots.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if I tell people if you can control when you get pregnant, which you kind of can't, but in a way you kind of can't, don't get pregnant in like March or April because wintertime maternity
Yeah.
sucks. Not
I was
only
going to,
does her birthday suck because the world doesn't care, they're celebrating Christmas. Um, it's cold out. Everyone's sick with the flu or some kind of bug. It's disgusting out. You can until now, you really can't go
yeah.
on walks or anything like that. So
Yeah.
I'm an extroverted lady who's paid 24/7, not on maternity leave, to go meet people and
Yeah.
go to different places all day. And I cannot do that with a newborn who can't get sick.
Yeah.
And s-
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you said when you said you were an extrovert, and I was thinking, gosh, we've had a really cold winter here in Dallas too, so it's kind of hard to get bundle up and get going. Um, but now,
yeah.
yeah, like you said, spring weather looks like it's here, so now you can get out and you've got your shots or close to it, I guess. So
Oh, she got them yesterday. Thank
yeah,
goodness.
yeah.
Yeah.
So March 19th is fast approaching, which
Yeah.
means now all of a sudden you have the blend of all of that, right? You have the blend of being a mom and a
Yeah.
parent, and you have the blend of your work coming back. I mean, do you have any lessons or ideas of what you're going to do?
I am still the same person. I am also very, very blessed. Not everyone who has kiddos when maternity leave ends have family in the same city as them. I've got great family here. I've got my mom, I got my dad, I've got even my grandparents. I'm very fortunate to have them. But I I know that when I get back, I used to overdo it, overwork it, go crazy, 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 going to events all the time strategically, but I would just overcommit and go crazy. But
Yeah,
now time matters where I don't want to miss out on these big milestones. The first year of her life is a little different than other years where say she'll be in daycare.
yeah,
She's not going to be in daycare till next year, but I just have to be more selective with my time.
yeah,
And maybe I don't go to every happy hour. I'm not a big drinker anyway.
yeah,
I don't go to every evening event. If I go to certain evening events, it's very strategic and it is blocked on the calendar far in advance. If I do anything, I'm just going to be more of a daytime BDer.
yeah,
Just,
yeah,
and that's just the nice part about my company is that I'm hybrid.
yeah,
And like I think I mentioned, if I've got meetings near my home in the M streets, then I am going to go to my house and
yeah,
spend time with my baby.
yeah,
Um, I don't want my kiddo, if she started crying, to cry for a nanny. I want her to cry for her mom.
yeah.
I don't want to go without her, but I do know that I am ready to get back.
Yes.
Mostly just because I get a lot of energy from people, even though people are exhausting.
Yeah.
I need to have those adult conversations. I like contributing to my
Yeah.
home,
Well,
and
it works different parts of your brain too, right? So which makes you feel good. You're accomplishing more things in the same amount of time, most likely. But it's interesting that you said time matters more. That's an interesting statement that you made, because it we talk a lot about balance, I think, in work-life balance and things like that. We had a guest on last week, and we talked about not thinking it's balance, because you can't have two equal parts. Or if you you'd spend all your time trying to make them equal. Instead, just blend them together, which you're talking about there. If you can do a morning from home before you have to go to a meeting up in Frisco or
Yeah.
wherever, then you blend it, and you get a chance to see that smile on Gigi's
Yeah.
face, and things like that. And that to me is more about life than it is trying to segment off things. And so many people do try to segment off, and I think it breaks them.
Not only that, no day looks the same for me. So I might have days where I have calls from 8 to 10 at the house, so I'll be here, and then I might have stuff from 10:30 to 4 and come back home. I
Yeah.
also might have some days where I'm completely at conferences or at events all day, and I don't see her, but I can make it up the next day. I I can plan my own schedule and make my own destiny with what I
Yeah.
do. I don't have a clocked in, clocked out 8 to 5.
Yeah.
Um, they expect me to hit certain targets and bring in new business opportunities. They don't really care how I do it or
Yeah.
when I do it. And so, one thing that is nice too is a lot of the people that I need to meet with are not here in Dallas or even Texas. So,
Mhm.
I schmooze and meet with people that are all over the United States, whether
Yeah.
it is New Orleans, other people in Colorado, Chicago, California. I can do that from my home. I could even
Yeah.
be holding my baby while I do that.
Yeah.
A baby that you say their date in months is very different to me also than an 8-year-old. An 8-year-old's in school.
Yeah.
And so they're gone.
They're on their own.
Newborn newborn year number 1 is just a little bit different, where I'm
Yeah.
not dropping her off and picking her up at daycare yet. I've got daytime help that's going to be keeping my baby alive so I can go back to work.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I I also know that doesn't matter what stage I want to be there. I want to be there for the
Yeah.
important moments. I might, if say Gigi wants to play tennis like her mother did back in the day. I might not make every single tennis practice, but I'll be at all the important matches.
Yeah. 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 Exactly. Yeah. And it's interesting, because that first year, like when you said, when you measure the age in months, they move so quickly. And when I say move, I mean advance to the next stage of something, right?
Yes.
There's reaching out and grabbing things, to talking or making noises, maybe not always
Yeah.
talking, but finding new noises to express themselves, to taking that first step, that crawl, that sit up
Hmm.
straight. There's so many stages in those months that are so important as well. So,
For
and
sure.
their victories too. I mean, you're going to celebrate those like you would celebrate a business meeting, that you were talking about earlier. So,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
yeah, yeah. And so, how I guess you don't know, but how's your peer group uh, reacting to the new Emily, the Emily that's not only the aggressive businesswoman, but also the mom? How is that
They're
taking
happy
place?
for me. I don't
Yeah,
think. I mean, I work for a firm that loves babies, and they all have families too. I work with a lot of really awesome men and women. They either have grown kids of their own, or they've also got little ones too. They
yeah,
get it.
yeah,
A lot of my office, in a good way, it's a lot of dudes, but they get it. They saw what their wives went through,
yeah,
and they all have young kids too. They get it. And I would be lying if I said that they're not happy. I think I would I wouldn't want to be around people that don't support me. This
yeah.
is
Exactly,
just,
exactly.
you don't have a lot of big important life events, and this is just one of them.
Yes,
And a lot of people love the whole stay-at-home mommy thing. It's I love my
yeah,
baby, and I love this time with her, but I also love taking showers, and I like sleeping, and I can't do that right now very very well.
yeah.
And so,
Well,
yeah.
the reason I asked the question is because you had an interesting post. And I'm sorry, I don't remember if it was this week, last week, whatever. But you had it was a carousel, and you had things. Remember the people, or remember the times, and it was you could scroll through. And it struck me as interesting, because as you look at these new phases of our lives, and they're not. I'm not saying good or bad, I'm just saying different. You've added an element to your life, which is enriching. But I was just kind of curious if you remember certain people or things or situations that kind of wanted that post, I guess.
I just have been very taken aback by how much people have reached out in all random phases of my life. I've had some people that obviously people I'm very close to. I've also had people that, I mean, I see them out and about, acquaintances, but I didn't think that they would ever send me a baby gift, or I didn't think that they would check in on me
Yeah,
frequently. I've also had people that just I've lost touch with completely just reach out. And I've also had people that I'm very close with not reach out or do the bare minimum. And
yeah,
so, not that I'm keeping tabs and score, but I mean, you have to remember these people
yeah,
and remember the ones that were good to you in good times and bad times.
yeah,
It, it's really how
yeah.
it goes. But yeah, I don't have many important life events other than maybe this is top three for most people.
Sure, sure.
And I've had have had wonderful support from my company and people around me.
That's great. That's why that it says a lot about. We talked about networking earlier, and your business strategy is also to build a big network of people that they know to call Emily when they need accounting services, right? And
Yes. Yeah.
and so and it's interesting. I think that when you think about what's happening, is just people coming and going from your network, and you remember the ones that kind of made that time for you in
For
some
sure.
form or fashion, right? So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anything else you want to share with new moms or business people, or maybe somebody that's just found out they're pregnant and they're going to be a mom or a dad? Any advice for those young business professionals that are about to take that on?
I mean, it's an advice, but it's more of a call to action. Everyone's busy. I'm busy, but I can make the time. So if you ever want to meet with me, whether it's accounting or non-accounting related, um, please don't be shy. Contact me via my LinkedIn or my email, which is emily.ackerman@btcpa.net. Um, I'm unfiltered. I'm an open book. If you want to talk new mom stuff, I mean, I'm 2 months in, I'm no expert, but I also am not one of those, my world is around my baby. I love my baby, but if you want to talk about juggling work, I'm going to go back to work. I'll let you know how I do in a couple weeks.
Yes.
But if you want to talk raw about maternity, I mean, anyone to me that's like, this time is so wonderful. Sure, it's special, and I'm never going to get this kind of time with my baby again, who is a good baby. I definitely miss some things that I had before her. I miss freedom. I
Yeah.
miss sleep. I'm also providing food
Yep.
myself, like from
Yep.
me, and so I miss my time
Yep.
because that takes time away from my day. But I I miss my body. I looked really good before getting pregnant, but that'll all come back,
Yes.
and my new norm just looks a little different. But I'm happy to talk to you about it. Find accounting to be boring, but everyone has to have it for their business and for their own personal
Yep.
stuff too. So
Yep.
I can talk to you about that and talk to you in common English about all of what we do. If I can understand it, so can everyone else.
That's fantastic.
But
Thank you
yeah,
so much, Emily. I know that we talked about keeping this around the 30 minutes, so we're just about there.
woohoo!
Anything else? You were going to say something. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
No, that's it. Just if you need anything from me, I'm an open book. So
Yeah, well,
holler.
thank you for sharing all of that, and I do appreciate you telling people where they can find you, because there may be people out there that need accounting services, and I hope they do reach out to you via
Awesome.
this. And congratulations on motherhood. And Gigi's lucky to have you, and you're lucky to have her. I wish you the very
Thank
best
you.
in that, and good luck going back to work. Shout out
Thank
if you
you.
need us to do anything with you along the way. So it's great to see you,
You too.
Emily. Thank you so much.
Thank
We'll
you.
talk to you soon. Thanks,
See you
everyone. We'll
soon.
see you next week. Next week, we have another person from Dallas that is focusing on helping Gen Zers kind of show up to work the right way. So we're excited to have Julie Jones joins us next week. Thanks a lot, everybody.